and welcome to another Wineword Italy review. Today I'm going to be looking at two more wines from Tenuta Cocci Grifoni in Ripatranzone in the Montepulciano province of the Marche, on the east side of Italy. First up is their flagship white wine. This is called Colle Vecchio. It is an Offida DOC Pecorino. In this case it is a 2010. There we go. This is made from 100% Pecorino grapes. This variety had almost died out in Italy, but was brought back to life, we could almost say rediscovered, by Guido Cocci Grifoni at the beginning of the 1980s. Now, Pecorino vines prefer cooler locations. They grow well even at altitude, up to 500 meters is quite possible. And thanks both to this fact and their relatively short growing cycle, they flower late and they mature early, they are ideally suited to the climatic conditions of the Italian Apennines. Now, historically, these grapes were blended, mixed with other varieties to improve the quality of the wines. But in this case, as I said, it's 100% Pecorino. Okay, harvest at Tenuta Cocci Grifoni takes place in the first 10 days of September. The actual date is dependent on optimum sugar level, the acidity and the pH of the grapes. They are selectively picked by hand. The chosen bunches are then vinified at a controlled temperature of 16 degrees C with static cleaning of the must, and selected yeast is injected into the mix, so not any old yeast. Okay, the wine is then matured in steel vats for at least 5 months and refined for a further 4 to 5 months before bottling. Bottles are then stored in darkness for 2 to 4 months before the wine is put on sale. So let's get this one open. It is my first ever tasting of a Pecorino wine, so I'm rather looking forward to it. I've heard great things. I've read a little of the book, which I'll show you after the review, and it makes interesting reading. So here we go, let's get this one open. Okay, oh my goodness, that smells delightful. Let's get some in the glass and then we'll get a good look at the colour. Here we go. So let's put that one in front there. Colle Vecchio. Okay. Now then, I don't know if we can see that one there. It's a very pale straw yellow with a nice greenish hint, greenish reflections. And already I'm getting a nose even at this distance, and bearing in mind it's not very warm this morning. Should be serving this at about 12 degrees. Let's get the nose in. Oh wow, it's almost spicy. Fantastic, but very floral. I can see acacia honey, so probably acacia flowers, acacia blossom. Certainly there, jasmine. And even at this relatively low temperature, you can notice the alcohol. I mean, it weighs in at 13.5%, so not to be ignored. Okay, so let's get a taste going, and my mouth is watering in anticipation. Cin-cin, give it a try. Wow, it's all at once smooth and velvety, fruity, but with a nice dry, pleasant crisp dryness as well. Absolutely fantastic. I would say the fruitiness there comes in as a sort of green apple, but not too sharp. But surprisingly smooth for a white. Absolutely fantastic. Well, that was certainly worth waiting for. It's been sitting here through the winter months while I've been out of the country, and now I'm back in Italy. And it's my first tasting of the year. So, Happy New Year to everybody, all my viewers, and especially those good people down in Tenuta Cocci Grifoni for sending me this to taste. A very, very pleasant experience. I'm happily sipping it alone here, but would be far better alongside either a savoury pasta dish or a fish-based or even a white meat main course. Later on today I'll be having a glass or two, make full use of the bottle here, with a chicken casserole, so I'm rather looking forward to that pairing. Now, while we're on the subject of Pecorino, have a little look at this. Okay, this is a book published by Tecniche Nuove. It's called La Riscoperta del Pecorino, the rediscovery of Pecorino. It's available from www.tecnichenuove.com, and the ISBN number is 978-88481-24201. But I'll put all that on the screen when I get the video up. So if you're interested in any more about Pecorino grape, there it is. So, first wine today, there it is, Colle Vecchio, Offida DOC Pecorino, 2010, from Tenuta Cocci Grifoni. Cheers. The second featured wine today is again from Tenuta Cocci Grifoni. This time it is their Il Grifone, which is an Offida DOC Rosso. This particular bottle is from 2004, and I'm led to believe it's just about reaching maturity now, but will continue to improve for another few years yet. Why does it have such a good life? Well, this wine is 80% Montepulciano and 20% Cabernet Sauvignon. The Montepulciano gives the possibility of long maturing and durability of a wine, while the Cabernet Sauvignon imparts its smoothness and also a certain sweetness. So, the vineyards where the grapes grow are at 230 to 250 meters above sea level, and the grapes are manually, selectively harvested from the second 10 days of October. My goodness, I'm in for a treat. Okay, now the actual start date is decided for by 5 different parameters, according to the sugars, the polyphenols, the anthocyanins, total acidity level, and the pH. So everything is considered before they start to pick the first grapes. Vinification includes 8 to 12 days of maturation. Yeast is inoculated at a controlled temperature of 28 degrees centigrade. New wine is then matured for 12 to 14 months in 5,000 litre Slovenian oak barrels before being transferred into smaller tonneaus, the smaller barrels, 500 litres. These are French toasted oak or toasted wood barrels, and remains there for a further 6 to 8 months. Finally, it's bottle refined for at least 4 to 6 months in a temperature and humidity controlled storage area. So it's come a long way before you get to actually taste it. So like I said, this one's 2004, and let's get some in the glass, and there we are. I hope you could hear that beautiful sound. Let's have a look at the colour. Get some up the sides of the glass there. Okay, it's a really intense ruby red. I mean, despite the age, it's not particularly going towards the garnet end of things yet. It's still got a sort of youthful look about the colour there. But let's see how we get on. Let's get the nose in. I can't wait. Oh my goodness. Ripe fruits. Pipe tobacco is coming out there, probably the smokiness of the barrels, the toasted barrels. It's kind of, oh, it takes me a long way back. Smell of leather there. I used to live in a small village which boasted one of the last operating tanneries in England. We lived right beside it, and there was a very particular smell would come out of there, and that's in there. We've got this lovely leathery smell. Fantastic. Wow, my mouth really is watering. So let's get a taste going and see if this is all it is cracked up to be. I'm sure it will be. Cin-cin. Oh my goodness. That is warm. That is velvety. Imagine a cold winter evening and somebody gives you an electric blanket to wear as a cloak. That is the feeling there. It's all round warm. Smooth, utterly delicious. Wow. The ripe fruit flavour coming through. Dark fruits, dark plums, black currants, black cherries. All in there. But there's a smoky suggestion too. The toasted barrels have left part of their qualities in the wine. So many pleasant sensations going on there. Absolute pleasure. What would we pair this with? Well, braised meat, a barbecued T-bone steak, a Fiorentina, if you're thinking of Italian one, or simply, why not have a small glass on its own. I would say sip it. Certainly don't glug it. It's been waiting for you for a long time, so don't rush things. But also, it is 14% alcohol, so it's got a fair old kick too. But take time to fully enjoy this wonderful wine. My word, that really is something very, very good indeed. Okay, there we are. Il Grifone, Offida, DOC Rosso, 2004, from Tenuta Cocci Grifoni. Again, thanks to them. Simply splendid, the range of wines they have sent me. I've got one more to do, which I'll review as soon as I can. Till then, from me, Wineword Italy, Cin-cin.